Wow, it's a bit warm today. Alright, today we have the first ever, at least as far as I can find, unboxing video of the Supermicro, oh wait, what was the model again? MBD, so motherboard, dashed C7Z170-M. This is the micro ATX version, not the regular ATX one. The one that's fits in a smaller case. That's the point. Just keeping this up here. Alrighty, what do we have here? This your flat. Here we have C7Z170M. The cool little slidey case thing. Let's take that off. Set that aside. Actually comes with a fairly nice looking box. So it supports a Core i7-35 whatever LGA 1151 CPU. Has a bunch of USB 3, your typical Thunderbolt, M2 header, using the Intel Z170 Express chipset. You can support up to 64 gigabytes of RAM. It comes with 6 SATA ports on board, M2 slot, as well as a few other features. But let's actually open up the box and see what's inside. Alrighty. So in here we have your standard, a few screws, 4 SATA cords, the base plate, motherboard manual, layout and features, guide, stuff like that, jumpers and stuff. But that's not what we're interested in. We are interested in motherboard. This out. Slide this beauty out here carefully. There we have it. I do wish I had better lighting in here. So, first thing we see is they've gone with a red and black type of color scheme with this board. One that, as far as I'm aware, their server boards don't usually have that much of a really cool color scheme or anything like that. We got a nice heat spreader over top of the chipset there. Heat spreader over top of the voltage regulation. Now with the new series of Intel CPUs, they've taken the voltage regulator off of the CPU die and put it back onto the motherboard. Increases power consumption a little bit, but it also makes it so that the CPU is much easier to overclock or underclock or custom clock, whatever you prefer. So on the back we have combination PS2 mouse keyboard port, if you're actually ever going to be using that again, which is unlikely. But in the more server end of things, they typically tend to have more, on the server side of things, they tend to have more PS2 and legacy keyboards still in there. We have our 2 regular USB ports, DVI port, display port, HDMI, Toslink or a digital, basically laser audio, gigabit Ethernet, I believe that's through the Intel chipset as well as USB Type 3.1. However, they're still using the older A-style ports. Your typical AC67 or AC97, whatever, probably some type of CD media audio there. And that's it for the faceplate. On the back here we have our 6 SATA ports there, SATA 3.0. So you get your 6 gigabit connection speed on there. But the kicker right here, look at this. Right here we have a fairly new type of connector starting to be seen on a lot more of the modern computers, a lot more laptops. Take a look at that. That is called an M.2 slot right there. What that does is allow you to put onboard solid state drive up to 4x PCI Express. So some of those solid state drives get well over a gigabyte per second on the read and write, both in sequential and random. You have your 16x 3.0 PCI Express expansion slot for video. Have a 4x slot and a 1x slot as well for additional expansion. As far as I'm aware, this M2 header can also be used as a PCI Express lane, not just a solid state drive lane. All in all, it's a lovely little motherboard, 9.6 inches by 9.6 inches. It's not really that big. Great for a mid tower or a mini tower. Now I just have to wait another month before I can afford to purchase the rest of the computer, such as the CPU and the RAM. I already have a good solid state drive. I already bought the case. Actually, I bought the actual case that's made for this board from Supermicro, so there won't be any compatibility issues or anything like that when I'm trying to build the system. It wasn't the smallest or prettiest case I could have gotten, but it's made for the computer, so it's made for the motherboard. You know that it's not going to have a problem. And that's pretty much it.